everyone, and welcome back to my channel. So I've been meaning to record. It's been a minute, guys. I've been meaning to record for the past 2 weeks, but I couldn't because I never expected the lockdown to take a knock, like a jab, at my mental health, but it did. And Bengiko, guys, like wow, I was just going through the most for the past 2 weeks, and I just couldn't sit in front of the camera, come and laugh and pretend like all is well when literally I just didn't even feel like doing anything. But I'm here now, all is well, and I'm fine, I'm okay, I'm doing fine. I mean, I've gotten over whatever cloud of sadness had overcome me. Or rather cloud of emotion. I'm fine now. I'm over it. Honestly, I'm over it. So from my last get to know me video, a lot of the questions that I was asked were basically marriage related. Like, so how is your marriage? Or what advice would you give a married, newlywed couple, like stuff like that. So it was a lot of marriage questions. So I decided, let me just do the next video on marriage. Like, let me rather dedicate this next video solely on those questions. I'm not going to read through the questions, but rather I'll try to address it in a wholesome manner, if that makes any sense. To me, it does. And hopefully I answer the questions. But if I don't, please feel free to comment and ask me to clarify or ask me to do another video on specific questions that you have, and I'll be happy to do that. I'll be very happy to do that. I don't mind. I'm not a marriage expert by any standard, like, guys, no, I'm not. As the topic of my video says, it is about how I failed at being a perfect wife, and so that should tell you that obviously this girl has, like, she has zero perfection to this whole marriage thing. Like, I haven't got it on lockdown. It's not like that. But I'll share what I learned in the past for almost 5 years. I've been married for almost 5 years. It will be 5 years in December. I don't know why I'm saying almost, because December is like far away, but hey, it is what it is. But this topic is very dear to my heart because for the first 1 to 2 years of my marriage, I was trying to be the perfect wife. I was trying to have the perfect marriage, to appear that all is well, and I've got this. And I know a lot of people who go into marriage, that's the idea that they have. I might be wrong, but I believe I'm not. Because when you think about marriage, you are thinking, I'm going to be the perfect wife, I'm going to be amazing at this. Nobody goes into marriage thinking that marriage will be boring. And I mean, we all want perfect marriages when we go into it. I have been there, and I know a lot of people are there or have been there as well. So yeah, I know those things happen. It's just one of those things. They happen. Guys, I seriously do not know where this whole notion of a perfect marriage, being the perfect wife, comes from. I don't know who planted it into our silly heads that we have to be perfect. I don't know, but it's there and you can't ignore it. And yeah, man, for the first 1 to 2 years, almost, not really, like maybe 1.5 years of my marriage, I was trying to achieve the impossible. Like, I was trying to attain to the impossible. I was trying to be the perfect wife. I was trying to have the perfect husband. And I was trying to be in a perfect marriage. Because, I mean, I didn't come here to play. I came here to, yes, that. I came here to have the most perfect wedding. Not wedding, excuse me. The most perfect marriage you have seen. I was going to be the standard. That's how I entered into it. And what a disaster. Like, what a disaster. I cannot stress enough how much of a disaster it was. But hey, imagine being a wife that never nags, that never complains, that's always smiling, that's just happy, that's just dishing out the plates, dishing out the goodies, if you know what I mean, without ever complaining consistently and constantly. Like, that's what perfection is, basically. I mean, like, that's the standard. That's what you think. I'm going to be that. That is what I am attaining to all the damn time. People never knowing when you are arguing, people never knowing when you are stressed or when things are going a bit haywire, like putting on the perfect image that this is going to be my marriage. I am perfect and we are goals. Hey guys, like I went with that mindset into marriage. And because I was trying to attain to this level of perfection, I realized towards the end of my second year of marriage that I am tired and I am frustrated. You know what? Trying to put up a perfect image for the world to see is exhausting. And I got bent out. I got tired and I was just done. And I had to pray about it because I'm Christian. I don't know any other way to deal with it but pray about it. Hey, what answer did God give me? God, hey, oh, Mara God, he was like, Mara, who told you that I called you for perfection? Me, I don't make any perfect people. And you come, gather two imperfect people, and you think you're going to come up with some, I don't know, some perfect marriage. It's not possible. And you are trying to just, like, I don't call for marriage to be perfect. I didn't create two perfect beings, so how did you expect to get there? And I had to take a step back and realize that I'm going at this the wrong way. If I'm trying to attain to perfection, I'm trying to say that I don't need God, I've got this. Because I mean, if you think about it, perfection means you don't need anything, you have everything under control, everything is sorted, which means basically, you don't need God. Like, what is God trying to come do there in your perfect marriage? And that's not what marriage is about. And I had to learn that. And after praying about it, that's what God said to me. It was like light bulb. You know when you change a light bulb and then suddenly poof, this bright light. It was like that for me. It was like, oh my God. Like, can I just relax? Can I just have fun, if anything? Can I just be playful? Can I be allowed to make mistakes in my marriage? And thank God that I prayed about it before I gave birth. Yes, I was pregnant because I got pregnant a year after we got married. But thank God that I prayed about it before having a baby. Because imagine now I have this image of perfection that I'm trying to attain to, and a baby to this whole thing. And now I'll be trying to have the perfect baby, and I was going to be a mess. Basically, that's what it means. I was going to be a giant mess and probably fall into postpartum depression, which is a topic for another day. If you want me to talk about it, don't hesitate to ask me. But wow, you guys, like, postpartum depression is the pits, like the actual pits. But it's a story for another day. So, for those that ask for advice on what I would advise newlyweds or people that are planning to get married and someone that's in a relationship and heading into marriage, which is basically the same as people that are planning to get married. I just realized that. But yes, my advice would be take whatever image of perfection that you have in your mind there, like all those, you're coming home and cooking this fancy 3-course meals. You can still do that, but I mean, take the image of perfection that you have in your head, just surrender it to God. Because look, guys, marriage, you will go, like, you would go through the most for unnecessary things. Perfection doesn't exist, not even for you as an individual. You, as an individual, you struggle to be perfect. How much more adding another person to your recipe of perfect marriage? It's not possible. It's just not. So take that image of perfection, surrender it to God, and maybe God will talk to you and say something that He has not said to me. But I can word of caution. There's no such thing as the perfect marriage. It does not exist. And another thing, it is in the first 2 years of my marriage that I struggled a lot. And not only with my expectations, but also with adjusting. You know, when you are by yourself, you know your patterns, you know what you like to do or how you like things to be done. And then you get married, guys. There's this person who also knows what they do and how they like to do it. And now you're trying to merge this this whole thing together, and my fingers go like this, but no, man, it's like this. Like, it's not happening. For the first 2 years of my marriage, it was like this. It wasn't happening like this. Like, things were just crazy. And I understand why it was like that, because as much as I was trying to adjust, my husband was also trying to adjust to having his new normal kind of flipped inside out or upside down or whatever you'd like to call it. You will have those power struggles where you want things to remain the way they were or how you used to do them, and he also wants how he used to do things to be the ultimate of how you do things. You'll go through that, and it's normal. It doesn't mean that now the marriage is over or you can't do this anymore or that your spouse is being impossible. They're not. And another side note, guys, this is a side note. Nobody asked me about this, but it's a side note. You see that one annoying thing that about your partner that is there before you get married, and it annoys you, but it's not a deal breaker, but it annoys you. So that annoying thing about your partner, when you get married, it gets multiplied 1,000 times. Like 1,000 times it gets multiplied, and it will drive you up the wall. And the best way to deal with that is the key of acceptance. Just accept that there's this annoying thing that's there, and it's going to be there forever, and it's probably going to annoy you even more, because, guys, forever is a long time to be annoyed. It's quite a long time. And also another thing that I would say to anyone planning to get married, newly married, is learn how to forgive. Forgive. And when you think this is not worth forgiving, forgive. Because sometimes you'll have to forgive someone for even an apology they didn't even say. Like, they won't even apologize. They just want you to forgive them and move on with life. Sometimes they don't even want you to forgive them because they don't see that they're wrong. Yeah, it happens. Your perfect partner sometimes is not so perfect. And they make mistakes and they don't want to admit that it was a mistake, or they don't say that it was a mistake. Learn to forgive, even without that apology ever coming. Just do yourself a favor. Forever is a long time to be pissed off. It's a long, trust me, you can go a week without talking to someone. You cannot go forever without talking to someone and you're married to them. It won't work. Like, it just won't cut it. And lastly, the last but really not least advice I would give you before you even get married is go for premarital counselling with your pastor. I mean, it helped me not even lower my expectations, but rather adjust my expectations. I knew what to expect, and I learned a lot from my partner during that time. I knew the deal breakers, like a lot of things were discussed. And I would advise you to get this book. Is it upside down? Yeah, it is. Model Marriage by Bishop Dag Heward-Mills. I'll leave a link on the description box. Sorry, I'll leave a link on the description box. Model Marriage. Try to get it and read it. If you cannot, absolutely cannot get marriage counseling from your pastors or your church or your leaders, I mean, get this book. It will help you. You will learn a lot. You learn about care of acceptance, you learn about temperaments, you learn about a lot of things. And yeah, man, get marital counseling. It's important. And if you find that you are already married and you did not go through premarital counseling, there is something called post-marital counseling. It might seem minute, but trust me, it helps. You will be surprised at how much you and your partner think differently. Even though you might like orange for your curtains in the house or your cushions or whatever, you will be quite surprised. You might find that you even like orange for two totally different reasons. But marital counseling, premarital, post-marital counseling is good, and it is vital, because marriage is hard. It's amazing. Trust me, it's amazing. I love being married, but it is also hard, and that will help. So that is the end of today's. I'll end here. Thank you so much. If you have any more questions or you want me to elaborate on something that I said, please do leave a comment on the comment section below. Also like, subscribe, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Thank you so much for watching. I love your feedback. I love the questions, and I'll try by all means to answer the rest of the questions that I haven't answered. If there's more questions or follow-up questions and you want me to do a video with questions and answers only, please do mention that and I'll do it. Thank you so much for everything. Wow. Thank you so much for watching. I'll catch you next week. Bye.